What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Broken Car, fix it all the time. I don't know. Tyson's over there working on S14 for a customer friend. Today, there he is.
Hi guys.
Megan's on the go-kart doing computer stuff with her school. Today I'm going to be installing the ARC 8000 switch panel, module, circuit board, whatever you want to call it. I'm super excited. Tyson already has it in his car. I'll show you what it looks like. It's awesome. Everyone that has this has told me they have minimal issues with wiring. And so right now when you turn the fans on, it also turns on the fuel pump, which it should not be doing that. So something is wrong there. The fuel pump is on a separate switch. It should be on its own separate thing, but it's not. So something is wrong. Me and Alberto did this wiring 5 years ago in like overnight in a rush trying to do Pro AM and in a competition, and it lasted this whole time. It was one of those like, oh, we'll fix it later, but it works now. Until recently, it started doing that whole thing. So gonna fix it now with this switch panel. I'm super excited. Here's what Tyson's looks like. So this is his switch panel. It's pretty sick. He's got a nice setup there with the radio. He just said that the two that are dim is to let you know that a relay is bad or a fuse is bad. So that's how you would know and not have to go, check.
Because it'll turn on, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Ignition, fuel. And that's cool, right? When you have it set so when you turn ignition off, it turns fuel off.
I have it set the other way. When I turn fuel off, it turns everything else off.
Ah, okay, smart. So I didn't get a chance to talk a lot during the hangout warm-up party for the shop, but I moved into some space with Tyson, and we haven't come up with a name for the shop yet, but basically Tyson has had this place for like 3 years now.
Yeah, 3.5, something like that.
3.5 years, and he works with his car out of this place, and he does everything here, and he also helps other people out and does all kinds of awesome things here. And I was tired of working at my house and in the driveway and all this inconveniencing people. I ended up being lucky enough to get a space here with Tyson, so I'm super excited about that. It's someone I've known for years. I started a meet like 10 years ago called the Fam Drift Meets, and Tyson just showed up. Remember that?
Yeah.
He just showed up. I think
you're probably one of the first 10 people I met in drifting when I started in late 2009, early 2010.
Right?
So yeah, you were one of the first people I met. And
I remember you just came from. Where did you come from? Was it New York or?
Oregon.
Oregon,
Yeah,
somewhere
Oregon.
up there, yeah. And you were like, just brought your vert down. It was sick, and you saw the meet on Zilvia, I think it was.
I lived in the neighborhood right behind it, and I just happened to be driving by. That was when I was at the old the Sonics at 436 and Cimarron.
Yeah.
I lived in the neighborhood right behind there on the lake.
And you just came by.
And I was driving by and I saw a bunch of cars. I'm like, hey, let me go check this out.
Yeah. So I've known him for a long time. So it's awesome that, coming from this long relationship, we trust each other. So we can have a shared space that we're gonna trust each other to, trust our car, our parts, our tools, all this stuff because of the relationship we have. So that's pretty exciting. Expect to see way more of him on the channel and his car and his progress. He's always very busy. This is his Instagram right here. Go follow him and give him a like and tell him you love his car because it looks awesome.
It makes cool noises too.
It does make cool noises. I will show you. Yep, he's gonna change some stuff on it. I will show you more about his car in another video, but you have to go tell him to do stuff to it, and then I can show you. Brand new. This one is the ARC 8000R. It mounts to the roll bar on my roll cage through this bracket here. Pretty excited about that. That's the power wire, and here is the circuit board. It wasn't packaged like this. I already took it apart. You can't tell, but it's pretty exciting because it has 8 switches and 8 relays and 8 fuses, and it's already all in the circuit. So all you have to do is put the power that you want to that accessory here, and that's it. You give power to this main wire and it's grounded through here. So you can remove all this mess and this spider web thing that's there. You could just remove it and put this on. Now I'm not going to do the whole cliggy thing and go bypass it. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. So in case you want to do this, it's pretty easy. And it's an LS3, so if it's a pretty common swap. You might want to do this. And this is all the wiring they include, so you can change the colors around. This is the ribbon cable. This is what goes from this switch panel to the circuit board. That way you can mount this and all you have is this one single ribbon going down instead of a bunch of wires. And mounting stuff, butt plugs, the stickers for the switches in both black and white, and receipt and stickers for the car. Sick. Oh my god. So the spider web I have here, right? These are my relays up here. They're all zip tied around that. And then my switches. So the wires go like from accessory and power all the way to the relays, all the way to the switches. And my fuse block is down here. I actually used an OEM Nissan one. The one you'd find in the S13 engine bay. And I just rewired that. There's extra wires back there. But anyways, so all I have to do is I have this tape right here. I'm gonna mark 8 wires, which are my 8 switches that I need, and then pull everything else out. And then the circuit board already has everything else we need. We just need this red cable right here. So the big one at the bottom, that one's gonna go to the switchboard, and that's it. The 8 wires board to the circuit board, and we're done. But I'm gonna explain which ones they are and where they come from the ECU. So this is sort of my finished product. Not really, I still gotta like go through it, but I'm just trying to explain to you what's going on here. All this wiring right here is equivalent to the new circuit board that I just bought. Basically all that is in that little square box. It's just routed into the board, so you don't have to do all that. The relays and the fuses and just all the wires and ugly stuff. Look at how much that is. Now here we have Alberto is awesome. When he did this 5 years ago, the tape still lasted, so I can still see what everything is. So I just had to do a couple of them. The red ones are the ones I just did. The white ones he was the one who labeled 5 years ago, and they're still there. Now an LS ECU is really easy. There's only a certain amount of wires that come out of the ECU that you actually need. They end up going into 4 wires. It's going to be ignition, which is a bunch of pink wires. They're down there. I'll explain how that goes. It goes from 1 wire to 2 wires to like 8, I believe. I'll have to look at the pinout. Then there's the pink 20 amp, which I don't necessarily remember what this is for, but it's part of the ECU that you need. I'll have to look that up. And then there is the orange, which is power all the time, which is the memory for the ECU, which you need because these ECUs actually learn how the car reacts through different sensors and things like that. And then the black one, which is ground. Another switch I'm going to be using, this is the starter. This is the tail lights. That's not going to go to the switch panel, but it's going to go to direct power on the ignition. This is the fans, so that's pretty easy. Fuel pump. What else do we have? Headlights. So it's pretty simple. Everything is already here. I'm super stoked to wire this whole into the circuit board. All you have to do is put this to the one side of the board, and the board does the rest, which is awesome. So all these switches are useless now. I don't need them anymore. I'm still going to reuse my oil pressure gauge, my water temp, and this is a wideband that the sensor is bad, but it's all wired in. I just need the sensor. All this is going to be useless. I'm probably just going to move these 3 gauges over to where they actually go on the 240, and then the new switch panel is right here. Hold that for me, Megan, please, so I can get it in focus. And it's gonna go up there. Show Megan. Nope.
No?
Nope. There you go.
Hi.
It's magnetic.
Why are you dropping my new part, Megan? It's gonna be so sick. Megan, show me how you like do stuff with it.
And then boom, 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 boom.
Is that how you do it?
Yep. That's how you.
What's the
race
motor
car.
sound like?
Oh man. And we're back. I haven't filmed in a while, but basically I made this plate, and this is gonna go on the back of my dash. It's gonna hold all this stuff together, and then there'll be a nice little plastic trim in front of it that'll be better. Garrett at work designed this case thing. It does not come with the ARC 8000. He designed it for me, and he made me a prototype. This one is not completely done. It's pretty cool though. Has all the holes specifically where you need it, access still to the relays and fuses, and the ribbon cable coming out the back there. So pretty exciting. I already replaced these fuses right here. This is gonna be my starter, ignition, fuel, fans, and then like light 1, light 2, wiper blades. And that one right now it's open. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with it, but pretty excited. This whole thing is done. Let's go bolt it down and put it in the car. I got all the wires labeled and swapped around. These are my top wires, those are the bottom wires. Already grounded the ECU. Have to fix the memory wire that goes up there on a 10 amp fuse. And I got my power probe down here to check all the stuff that I needed to check. So basically the way you wire an LS to anything really is you grab all these pink wires, and they are on the fuse block of the LS harness, and basically those are your ignition to your coil packs, your injectors, your MAF, all that stuff that you might need 12 volt power to. Those wires go from all of those to 2 bigger gauge to 1 bigger gauge somewhere right around here, which is my ignition. It's this one, which is my ignition. The only other wires you need from the LS harness is this green one, which is for the OBD2. This is a OBD2 signal, ground, and tachometer. Then you will also need this orange wire, which is the memory wire for the ECU. The ECU is actually constantly learning what it reads, what it sees from O2 sensors and things like that, and it adapts. So you need to have that one constant to the battery always, not on the other side of the switch, the main switch, but on the battery, so the ECU stays on no matter what, or the memory does anyway. The rest of these are pretty simple: starter signal, fans, fuel pump, so just the power to whatever one of these this is, and starter signal, and then everything else will get a grounded to the chassis, because that's what that board is going to be grounded on. So it's all wired in, everything's done, the ribbon cable's up, across, and up, and then this is all done, ribbon cable's on it. Steven's gonna put the kill switch on. Good. Oh, lights are red, seems like everything's on and working. Let's give it a try. I hope this works. Ignition. Oh, battery's dead. So this cool panel has this ignition, momentary and master. If you want to switch to be momentary, you turn it on. So number 1 is on because that's the starter. That means that if you turn it on and you let go with your finger off of it, it turns back off. It doesn't stay on. And the master is number 2. And if you leave it up, if you turn it on, all the switches you turn on will turn off when you turn the master off. So I'm gonna do 3, 4, and 5. So here's 3, 4. Oh, it's not all the way. And 5. Which would be fuel, fans, and dash lights. Which dash light is actually also my tail lights and my headlights. Just like for night seeing. And then the other headlights as well. I guess I'll put that in there. And the wipers. So in case you turn any of that off, it'll all turn off. Doop. Doop. Ready. So ignition on, fuel on, fan on, everything on, and then everything turns off. Sweet. So when I get somewhere, I'm done driving, just go ahead and turn it off. So let's do fans, dash lights, headlights, and then sweet. Now if the ignition's not on, I can still turn my fans on, and it'll still kill it. So let's do the dash lights. I like those. This is my favorite. You like my dash lights, Steven?
I do.
These are my dash lights. Okay. Oni likes them. Right, Oni? Yes. Turn the headlight on, Steven. Woo! Look at that. Look at that. So the way these headlights work, they have two different. They have 3 different settings. Right now they're on strobe. They're both strobing at me. Turn it off. The headlight, and back on, and now it's normal high beam or low beam, I don't know which one. Turn it off, back on, and then that looks like low beam. So the other one was high beam, this one's low beam. Turn it off, back on, and that's back to strobe. Yeah. By the way, thank you, Steven, for being here all night, helping me, handing me tools. He has an SR S14 that I think was on Taylor's channel at all.
Yep.
So
put the motor in on his channels.
Yeah. So I've been helping him with wiring. I'm gonna do a similar setup to his car, because it's a race-inspired car. So this is pretty exciting. Let's see if we can connect the battery to a charger or something so we can get the car started, and that is the final test.
Good.
That wasn't getting us anywhere, so we brought the G in. We're gonna jump it and do it again. Alright, now we got this. Yeah! Good. Sick! Got a good nap? Uh-huh. Get out of here. Jesus. Oni's excited to go home. Yeah, Oni? Yeah.